Welcome in to WWE Raw, and we're kicking off this week's show with a big one. A match that was announced as Smackdown was going off the air last week from WWE official Triple H. It's going to be our first men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. It's going to be between the Intercontinental Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, and Bron Breakker. Fatu, a member of The Rock's bloodline. Bron Breakker, not a member of the bloodline, but did receive a special gift at the Royal Rumble, courtesy of The Rock. He was gifted the 30th entrance spot in the Men's Royal Rumble. I guess Breakker was under the assumption that he and Jacob were supposed to work together to eliminate everyone else, and then the two of them be the final two in there, and then basically at that point the best man wins. Bron would save Jacob from elimination, and then Bron kind of felt like Jacob went a little off script and went into business for himself. Called out Jacob last week. The two of them got into it and had to be separated by security, and Bron Breakker from behind. And looks like we're not going to have a match here as the referee calling for the bell. And we saw last week on Smackdown, the bad blood has simmered to a boiling point very quickly between these two. Again, Breakker calling out Jacob Fatu last week when he felt that the Samoan Werewolf maybe called an audible in the Rumble, and decided to maybe not follow through with what Bron Breakker thought was originally planned out. He sends Jacob into the announce desk and slams his head right down on that Raw logo. Timekeeper quickly getting out of the way. Now Bron with a chair from underneath the ring and blast Jacob Fatu with it. And now just repeated shots with that chair. Obviously, we're not going to have a match here. I don't know what this means. But Bron Breakker attacking before the bell. The referee calling this one off. Next, we're going to see Chad Gable, your WWE European Champion, taking on Carmelo Hayes. And this is actually a rematch from last week. Gable, coming up on the losing end in that one, wanted another crack at Carmelo Hayes, and he gets it here on Raw. Seems like more, as of late, we've seen Carmelo Hayes more in tag team action with his tag team partner, Trick Williams. And while Gable did have issue with the loss last week, definitely one of those matches that felt like an upset as Gable misses with the elbow drop. Now Hayes looking to capitalize on the mistake of Chad Gable. Again, Kurt Angle in the corner of Gable, the coach of Team Angle. We will see another of Angle's Team Angle members Ivy Nile later in the night. She will be in a women's qualifying match for Elimination Chamber. Carmelo Hayes with the cover. And in back-to-back weeks, Carmelo Hayes picking up a win against Chad Gable. Well, looks like we're going to try this one again. Braun Breaker on his way out. Now Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu now getting the jump on Braun Breaker. The referee trying to pull Jacob off, and Jacob just shoves him. And again, the referee calling this one off. I think in Triple H's mind, he thought, all right, here we have two guys who clearly don't like each other. They are intent on fighting each other. So let's put this match in the ring. We've got some stakes on the line, a spot in the men's Elimination Chamber match. And these two can't even be civil enough to handle it in the ring. Fatu now getting Breaker back to his feet. And again, I think Triple H thought this was what these guys wanted. Let's put them in the ring. Let's try to maybe draw some money on the hate that has quickly brewed between these two guys. Jacob Fatu slamming the badass down on the ramp. And he's going to leave Breaker laying there just like Breaker left him earlier in the night. Triple H now on his way to the ring, and you got to think he's not happy about what has gone on here tonight. He says he should suspend both Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu for their actions, but he's going to give them one more chance in the main event here tonight. And to make sure that this match actually goes down, he's going to be back out here as the referee. The WWE referees couldn't control the badass and the Samoan werewolf. Let's see if the game can maintain control and get this match in the ring. Next, we've got our first women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And it's going to be between Bayley and Ivy Nile. Looks like no Coach Angle in the corner of Ivy for this one, as Brutus and Julius Creed are in Ivy's corner. Ivy, the most recent former WWE Women's Champion, lost that title back at Starrcade to Nia Jax. Bayley, a former two-time WWE Women's Champion. And now the Creeds distracting Bayley, and Ivy able to take advantage of the distraction. Nile with a powerbomb to Bayley. Dragon Sleeper locked in. Bayley trying to fight her way out, but no choice but to tap, as Ivy Nile becomes the first woman to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match. All right, boys and girls, main event time. Let's see if the third time is the charm, with Triple H on his way out as the referee. Can he find a way to control Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu in this one? We're about to find out. Breaker now, the first one out. Looking around, gotta maybe see if Jacob might be waiting around a corner, but he's not. Jacob now on his way down to the ring. We are finally gonna get these two in the ring. There's the bell, and Bron Breaker not wasting any time. We want to make an announcement here, too, while this one's going on. Our next special live event is going to take place Friday night, August 15th at 10 p.m. Central Time, live on YouTube and Twitch. It's Clash of the Champions, and it's going to be our first WCW exclusive special event that we have done in our universe. It's going to be a week before Elimination Chamber. We did this for Tribute to the Troops a few months back, and we had a lot of fun, so we would love if you would join us. So make plans Friday night, August 15th, 10 p.m. Central Time. And join us for Clash of the Champions. Jacob Fatu now in the driver's seat. So far, Triple H has been able to manage the chaos between these two. Now Jacob, through the ropes, takes out Bron Breaker. And now sends Breaker into the barricade as Triple H starts the count. Kick to the midsection. And power bombs the badass. Triple H trying to get these guys back in the ring. And Jacob tosses Bron over the barricade. These two now in the crowd as we are to a count of 5. And Jacob just sending Bron further and further away. We are at 8. These guys are not going to make it back in the ring. And we're going to have a double count out here. What in the hell? Where do we go from here? It's time for WCW Nitro. We've got a women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match to kick off the show this week. On Raw, we saw Ivy Nile secure her spot in the Elimination Chamber as she defeated Bayley. Here on Nitro, we will see if it'll be Tiffany Stratton or Jade Cargill who will join her. And of course, the winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber match will get an opportunity to take on Raquel Rodriguez for the WCW Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Tiffany, a former one-time WCW Women's Champion, also a former Elimination Chamber winner. In year 1 in our universe, she won the Women's Elimination Chamber match and turned that into a title opportunity at our WrestleMania 1 and walked out of that WrestleMania as WCW Women's Champion. Jade, we've seen over the last couple of months a lot of frustration coming from Jade Cargill. On one hand, doesn't feel like she's getting the opportunities as a lot of other women, more specifically her former best friend Bianca Belair. But if we're being real, if we're keeping it real here, the opportunities that Jade has gotten, she has not made the most of them. Whether it has been Royal Rumbles or number 1 contender opportunities, She just can't seem to come away on the winning side of those. And while she's not going to want to hear it, that falls on Jade. You can't fault the other women who make more of an opportunity of the chances that they're given. For the second time, Jaded rolls Stratton over. And that is going to do it. Jade Cargill moving on to Elimination Chamber as she joins Ivy Nile. Next, we've got Cruiserweight action. J.D. McDonough. He will be taking on one of the newest Cruiserweights here in WCW, Javon Evans. Evans, who had a great opportunity in his first couple matches in. His debut match, he defeated Charlie Dempsey to get a spot in a triple threat #1 contenders match that was eventually won by Ilya Dragunov, who went on to take on Santos Escobar at the Royal Rumble. The Mad Dragon would regain his WCW Cruiserweight Championship at the Rumble. And then after the victory, we saw Charlie Dempsey hit the ring and attack Dragunov with his newly won Cruiserweight Championship. So there's been a little disarray in the Cruiserweight division. I know Santos not real happy, feeling that Dempsey's kind of jumping the line. Dempsey defeated Escobar last week. So you've got a division of guys that all feel like they deserve a shot at Dragunov, and some of these new guys, they're not showing that they really want to wait on their opportunity. Suplex to Evans. McDonough, a former tag team champion, has not had a run as Cruiserweight champion. He is choking out Javon Evans in the corner, but does release as the referee is counting him down. Evans able to get out of McDonough's camel clutch. And now we've got Santos Escobar's music hitting. No sign of Escobar as Javon Evans looking down at the stage. And J.D. McDonough from behind taking out the legs of Evans. Headbutt. Goes for the cover. And J.D. McDonough, thanks to the distraction of Santos Escobar's music playing, I don't really know what that was all about, but J.D. McDonough coming away with the win. Kofi Kingston making his way down to the ring with his tag team partner Xavier Woods in his corner. Kofi going to be in singles action this week against The Miz. And it has not been a good couple of weeks for The Miz. Really hasn't been a good couple of months for The Miz. He loses the WCW Television Championship to LA Knight. Knight ends up getting injured thanks to AJ Styles. And then Miz just starts showing up with a replica version of the WCW television title, claiming to be the real TV champ. Obviously, nobody recognizing him as such, but he was getting into the Halloween spirit. LA Knight would make his return. And in kind of a throwback to WrestleMania 10, in a battle between two Intercontinental Champions, Razor Ramon and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, we had at the Royal Rumble both television titles suspended above the ring in a ladder match. And LA Knight would be the one to retrieve both titles. And even though there was no doubt that he was the actual television champion, if nothing else, it took that replica title out of the possession of The Miz. And so Miz hoping for a better showing here tonight. So far, not looking too bad here against Kofi. Went for a figure four, couldn't get Kofi to tap. And now Miz using the middle ropes. And 3. Referee didn't see it. I guess what they say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, as the Miz bounces back this week on Nitro. Even though he had to cheat to do it, the record books will show he defeated Kofi Kingston. And now it's main event time, and we've got a men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Big Bronson Reed he will be taking on the former WCW World Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. You know, Cody had high hopes of winning the Royal Rumble. That didn't work, but Abyss from behind. The man who is responsible for Cody no longer being WCW champ. He tosses Cody into the ring. Referee checking on the American Nightmare. Cody says he wants to go. You know Cody's not going to walk away in this situation. And Bronson Reed able to take advantage here. Cody, who lost the WCW World title back at Starrcade against AJ Styles. Abyss would make his Open Mic Universe debut, attacking Cody when it looked like Cody was getting ready to set up for a crossroads. He would hit the American Nightmare with a black hole slam, and AJ Styles would get the victory and walk out WCW World Champion again. Since Cody was unable to win the Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, his last shot, his last opportunity to try to get his hands on AJ Styles, as Cody now showing some signs of life here. Cody is a former WCW World Champion, like we mentioned, former two-time WWE World Champion, hits a crossroads. But Bronson able to kick out at 2. Bronson Reed, a former WCW United States Champion, trying to get him up for a pile driver. But big Bronson Reed just too big for Cody Rhodes to get up. And now both men down. Reed first to get back to his feet now. He's going up top, and this is never a good thing. Tsunami down on Cody Rhodes. And in a shocking turn of events, Bronson Reed thanks to the attack by Abyss before the match as Cody was making his way to the ring, is moving on to the Elimination Chamber. And once again, Abyss screws over Cody Rhodes. Welcome to WCW Thunder. Whoa! I guess we can throw our show format out the window. Damian Priest, the Men's Royal Rumble winner, making a shocking appearance here on Thunder. Priest, a member of the WWE roster. And I guess this maybe means he has finally made his WrestleMania choice. I can't think of any other reason why he would be here. Priest, who eliminated Bron Breakker to secure his win in the Royal Rumble. It's also interesting to note this is the first time Damian Priest has appeared in a WCW ring in the open mic universe. This is how you know it's WrestleMania season. He says he's thought long and hard about what decision to make for WrestleMania. And he's even gone so far as to get advice from some unlikely people. He says you never move forward by looking back. And while he's been WWE World Champion in the past, it's time for a new challenge. And it's time he becomes WCW World Champion. So whether it's AJ Styles or LA Knight, he'll be watching Elimination Chamber. And whoever wins should get ready for a war at WrestleMania. Damian Priest making his decision. He's going after the WCW World title. Next, we've got a men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. It's going to be R-Truth taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. For those of you new to the universe, there is a little bit of history between these two. They have been a tag team and have been tag team champions, even though it was a short tag title reign. The Strong Truth, a team named by our buddy JR from the New Music Inferno. And it was at Open Mic Mania, which was a Cyber Sunday, Taboo Tuesday style show where matches, stipulations, and in the case of Nakamura and Truth, pairing up two random guys to get a shot at the WCW tag team titles, at the time held by the War Raiders. Our top two vote getters were R-Truth and Shinsuke Nakamura, and they would go on to defeat the War Raiders that night, become tag team champions. But like I said, that run was short-lived. And after the Strong Truth lost the tag team titles, Nakamura would blame that loss on Truth and, for a time, make Truth's life a living hell. Now here, one of these two guys will move on to the Elimination Chamber as Truth able to block the Kinshasa. And that's not something we see very often. Truth has had kind of a career resurgence these last few months. Moves out of the way, can't see me. R-Truth with an attitude adjustment. Crawls over, drapes his arm across Shinsuke Nakamura. And gets the 3 count. R-Truth with the win. And now he finds himself in the men's elimination chamber with a potential shot at a match against The Rock at WrestleMania. Up next, we've got our WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Ilya Dragunov. He will be taking on one of WCW's newest signees, Ethan Page. Earlier this week, we announced our next special live event that'll be broadcast on YouTube and Twitch Friday night, August 15th, 10 p.m. Central Time, Clash of the Champions. It'll be a special WCW exclusive show. And we would love for you to join us. We had a lot of fun the last time we did one of these special live events. And it gives you an opportunity to hang out with us live while the action takes place. Friday night, August 15th, 10 p.m. Central Time. Make plans to join us for Clash of the Champions. Dragunov, who is set to defend his WCW Cruiserweight title at Elimination Chamber against Charlie Dempsey. Dempsey, who attacked Dragunov back at the Royal Rumble after Dragunov regained the Cruiserweight Championship against Santos Escobar. And what's Dempsey doing down here? He's taking off with the Cruiserweight Championship. Dragunov getting his belt back. Now having words, and Ethan Page from behind. Page, who made his debut at the Royal Rumble last week, signing a WCW contract. But his first singles match in WCW did not go according to his plan, as he was defeated by Stevie Richards, a guy that Ethan Page eliminated in the Royal Rumble. Now Page with the cover, not like this. Dragunov able to get the shoulder up. Big boot to the face, the Mad Dragon. In a bad way here. But Dragunov able to get out. Running power slam, goes for the cover, hooking the leg. Only gets a 1 count. Suplexes Ethan Page, and now dragging Page's body here away from the ropes. H-bomb from Ilya Dragunov. And now again with the cover. And that will do it. Ilya Dragunov with the win, despite the mid-match interruption by his Elimination Chamber opponent, Charlie Dempsey. It's time for the main event. And it is going to be a women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Bianca Belair taking on Giulia. And Giulia, the ink not even dry, she has signed with WCW. And one of the perks that was given to her was a spot in one of these qualifying matches. So I'd say that's a pretty good signing bonus. Giulia, who made her debut in the Women's Royal Rumble. Signing with WCW, and she's got a great opportunity here. Although in there with somebody like Bianca Belair, it's not going to be an easy night in the ring, that's for sure. We know that the Royal Rumble winner, Becky Lynch, going after Nia Jax and the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. So the Elimination Chamber, an opportunity to earn a shot against Raquel Rodriguez for the WCW Women's Championship. And that's an opponent that Bianca Belair knows all too well. She had an opportunity at Starrcade that was ruined by her best friend, Jade Cargill. We saw Jade qualify earlier this week on Nitro. Bianca trying to do the same. Heavy boots down on Giulia. And Jade Cargill's music. Bianca looking around. No Jade Cargill, but Giulia able to take advantage of a distracted Bianca Belair. And again, Jade Cargill trying to ruin an opportunity for the EST. Giulia with the cover. And Giulia moving on to Elimination Chamber thanks to that woman. Jade Cargill again cost Bianca Belair, this time costing her a spot in the Elimination Chamber. Welcome to WWE Smackdown. And we have got a men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. To kick off the show this week, the Viper, Randy Orton. Orton, a former one-time WWE World Champion in the Open Mic universe. He will be taking on Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. And speaking of the Judgment Day, even though things are a little bit dysfunctional right now in terms of the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, who for whatever reason not on the same page with Finn Balor currently, Damian Priest, the men's Royal Rumble winner, making his announcement this week on Thunder that he is choosing the WCW World Heavyweight title to go after at WrestleMania. While he won't know who his opponent will be until after Elimination Chamber, when AJ Styles defends the WCW World title against LA Knight. That means that the winner of the Elimination Chamber match will earn an opportunity to take on The Rock at WrestleMania for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Priest letting everybody know that since he has been a WWE World Champion in the past, he wants to look ahead and look for a new challenge, go after a championship that he has not yet held in his career here in the Open Mic universe. So, we talk about the dysfunction in the Judgment Day. How crazy would it be if Finn Balor were to be able to qualify for the Elimination Chamber, go on to win it, and then at WrestleMania we would have both members of the Judgment Day going after world titles. But Balor's hands, even though right now he is in the driver's seat, definitely full against the Viper as he clotheslines. Finn Balor now setting him up. Vintage Randy Orton. Now the Viper. We've seen this before. He is looking to strike. RKO. Slithers over, hooks the leg. And Randy Orton defeating Finn Balor, punching his ticket to Elimination Chamber. And if he can find a way to win the Elimination Chamber, he will find himself in the main event at WrestleMania against The Rock. Sheamus making his way into the ring. He will be taking on Joe Coffey of Gallus. His brother Mark and Wolfgang accompanying him to the ring. Elimination Chamber is just a little over a week away, but we have got a special WCW exclusive live event before we get there. Clash of the Champions, Friday, August 15th, 10 p.m. Central Time, live on YouTube and Twitch. We can announce here tonight the main event has been signed. And the ink on the contract isn't even dry yet. AJ Styles and Abyss will be taking on the team of LA Knight and Cody Rhodes. LA Knight, who will be taking on AJ Styles at Elimination Chamber for the WCW World title. Abyss, the man solely responsible for Cody Rhodes losing the WCW World title back at Starrcade. Also the one who cost Cody his opportunity to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. So make plans to join us Friday night, August 15th, 10 p.m. Central Time for Clash of the Champions. Only a 2 count there for Sheamus. Coffey back to his feet. Sheamus gets him up. Celtic Cross. And Sheamus with the victory as he defeats Joe Coffey this week on Smackdown. Next, the chairman, Shawn Spears. He will be taking on Sami Zayn. Sami and KO, who have been dealing with the bloodline as of late. More specifically, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the current WWE Tag Team Champions. The team that had to cheat to beat Kevin and Sami for those championships. Also the team that has found different ways to screw Kevin and Sami in their rematch attempts. We have gotten a little bit of word from Triple H. He is looking at what to do about the situation. Those two teams will not be involved at Elimination Chamber. He says he is looking at what to do possibly for WrestleMania. And maybe try to settle this thing once and for all. And so he said expect to get some sort of announcement after Elimination Chamber on what we can expect between Kevin and Sami and the Bloodline. Spears getting Sami up, but Sami elbowing his way out. Blue Thunder Bomb. Gets Spears back to his feet. Sends him into the ropes. Haluva kick. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn, your winner. You know, Kevin and Sami anxiously awaiting to hear what Triple H has planned for them and the Bloodline. Now in our main event, we've got a women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Iyo Sky. She will be taking on Liv Morgan. Already the qualifiers that we have seen so far: Nile from the WWE, Jade Cargill from WCW. Also this week on Thunder, the WCW debuting Giulia, who just signed with WCW, and I guess you could say her signing bonus was a spot in the qualifying side of the WCW. She defeated Bianca Belair after a mid-match distraction. Jade Cargill. No love lost between her and Bianca for the last couple of months. Bianca rolling in that one, and then Jade's music hit completely took Bianca's attention away from Giulia. I think she was expecting Jade to come down and interfere. Jade would not appear, but that did leave the window open for Giulia to take advantage, and hey, you can't blame her. If your opponent is not locked in, that's not your responsibility when there is an opportunity to earn your way into something like the Elimination Chamber. And again, it goes back to what's on the line. You win Elimination Chamber, you move on to WrestleMania, and you get a shot at the WCW Women's Championship held by Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan, one of the few women in the open mic universe to hold both the WWE and WCW Women's Championships. Jersey Codebreaker off the second rope. Iyo Sky on the other side, still looking for her first championship. Iyo struggling to get back to her feet. Oblivion. Liv with the cover. But Iyo Sky able to kick out. Liv can't believe it. Boot to the face from Liv Morgan. Now Liv lying in wait, waiting for Iyo to get to her feet. Another Oblivion. Hooks the leg and goes for the cover. And that will do it. Liv Morgan is going to Elimination Chamber. And there are still 2 more qualifying matches coming up next week. Who will be joining Ivy Nile, Jade Cargill, Giulia, and now Liv Morgan? We will find out next week.